What would be your first move in a zombie apocalypse? Fortify your house, head for the wilderness, or join a group? According to a 2021 survey by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, nearly 50% of Americans have no emergency plan at all. This study was talking about emergencies we've seen before, like natural disasters. So imagine how unprepared we'd all be to face an army of the undead. That's why today we're going to walk you through the most dangerous zombie scenarios we've ever covered and give you tips on how to survive the first 7 days, the first 30 days, and finally, the first year of a zombie apocalypse. Each period will present its own unique set of challenges that might surprise you. For example, why would the city be the best place to hunker down during the first couple days of the apocalypse, but the worst place as the weeks go on? How could a plastic bag become the most essential tool to stop you from running out of water by day 30? And what can we do to change the outcome of scientific models that see humanity lasting only 100 days during a zombie outbreak? We'll answer all these questions later in the video, and along the way, we'll explore just how important it is to stay quiet in a world full of zombies. Inspired by the sponsor for our video, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, we'll look at some of the best ways to minimize noise while you're navigating the apocalypse. So tiptoe out to your shed and grab the most effective weapon you can find, because we're about to take on the first 7 days of the zombie apocalypse.
It's day 1 of the zombie apocalypse. The infected already have a hold on the city, and you need to move fast. The first hours are the most important. If you want to make it out of this alive, you'll have to walk the fine line between rushing into a death trap and being left behind. First things first, whip out your phone. Yeah, not what you were expecting, but you may as well use it before communication is totally cut off. Check your map and put a pin on the nearest stores, gas stations, and routes that will get you out of town. Malls and department stores will be infested by now, so the best bet is to raid a local mom-pop shop. You need to stock up on supplies such as clean water, non-perishable foods, and thick clothing to protect against the weather and zombie bites. As you're filling your backpack, you hear steps. Someone or something is in the store with you. You don't need to stick around to see if they have a pulse or not. Just take the stairs to the store basement and rush to hide. Close the door and use that big latch lock. The door should hold for now. But there's still a legion of zombies outside just waiting to make your insides your outsides. Oh, and you've got to survive a whole week. The good news is, that's just enough time to get you out of a zombie-infested city and into a secure cabin in the mountains. It's not gonna be easy, but we'll take it day by day. Rise and shine. You've got a big day ahead of you. It looks like whatever was stomping around the store last night moved on. You should follow suit. Eat a small portion of your food, wrap some magazines around your forearms to prevent bites, and get ready to face the city again. You're gonna need a weapon to defend yourself against zombies and, let's face it, lots of panicking humans. The gun store is off the table. Hundreds of people fighting for weapons is an easy way to get killed. But you did see that sports store the other day. A baseball bat will do for now, at least until you can upgrade to a machete. You'll have to make a run for it. Don't stop moving and don't look back. Did you find a bat? Great. Time to get some hitting practice in. You can fight a zombie or two, but this city is full of them, and it's only Tuesday. The smartest thing is to look for shelter, somewhere where zombies will have a hard time reaching. A tall office building just 5 blocks away is your best bet. Again, no time to fight, just run. When you reach the building, use the stairs and go as high as possible. Find an office with a kitchen and vending machine. Barricade the door behind you. This city is still collapsing. The zombies are enjoying their all-you-can-eat flesh buffet, so stay put and plan your next move. Check the map on your phone and plan a route to escape the city. Your battery will die eventually, so grab a pen and paper from the office and draw the map. Highways are death traps, so look for alternative routes. Remember to pinpoint gas stations and stores along the way. Search the whole office for food, clean water, and a first aid kit. Now allow yourself to rest while the world falls apart. Now would be a good moment to watch a zombie fighting tutorial, but all networks are down. What with the end of the world and everything. Better hit that subscribe button and watch all of our survival tips before it's too. An explosion wakes you up before dawn. It was just a matter of time before unattended kitchens caught fire. It's not safe to stay here. Time to leave your safe haven. Take one last look at the city, identify the safest street, and head down the stairs. The ground level could be dangerous, so keep going down to the parking lot. There's no point driving a car right now. They're way too loud. But an electric scooter or a bicycle is an excellent way to move around the city without making any noise. Lucky you, this scooter has a helmet attached to it. Let's roll. Darkness is your new best friend. You'll be harder to spot by both zombies and humans. A fully charged electric scooter can ride for about 50 kilometers. Ride as fast as you can and keep your bat handy. The sun is rising, and so are your chances of being eaten alive. Avoiding threats is becoming harder. Suddenly, a zombie tackles you to the ground. Your helmet saves your head from dragging on the pavement. You quickly turn to find a zombie charging at you. Zombies have poor balance and coordination, so you knock them over with a single leg sweep. Then bash its head in with your bat. 3 hits are enough. Don't go into a frenzy. Catch your breath and check your surroundings. The scooter is broken, and that fall left your body scraped and sore. Find a place to hide and recover. A bar will do. Always barricade the door behind you. Use vodka to clean your wounds and have a snack. Midnight. Happy hour is over, and you're feeling good enough to hit the road. But if you want to make it outside the city, you're gonna need some camouflage. Move carefully in the shadows and recover that zombie you finished earlier. Drag it back to the bar, look for a knife, and make yourself a zombie suit. Being covered in zombie guts will help. Ugh. Oh, that smell. Will help you walk around them. Now that you look and smell the part, it's time to do your best Walking Dead impression and shuffle towards your destination. After walking for hours, you're finally getting to the outskirts of the city. Here, the undead are scarce and the roads are clearer. It's finally time to look for a car. You'll likely find some barricades and zombies ahead, so look for a big truck that can take a few hits. You found it? Great. Road trip. As the tank is about to hit empty, you arrive at the gas station you had marked on your hand-drawn map. There's gas in the pumps, so maybe there's still food and water inside. The place looks peaceful. Too peaceful. If movies have taught us anything, is to... The zombie pins you against the ground. It's stronger than you thought. You use your arm to cover your face. You feel the bite on your arm, then a loud detonation. Your ears are ringing as you slowly get up to find 2 people aiming at you with rifles. They ask you to show them your arm. You roll up your sleeve and show your magazine cover. The bite didn't get to your skin. They invite you inside. You know you shouldn't trust anyone, but they have a gun, so in you go. As it turns out, they have a good amount of food and ammunition. But if you could find this place so easily, so can anyone else. They have guns. You have a vehicle and a plan. It takes a long conversation, but now they are convinced that the only way to stay alive is to go up into the mountains. The higher, the better. You take a road map from the gas station, fill the car with supplies, and leave at midnight. Better to drive when it's dark. New groups of armed raiders are probably patrolling the roads by now. Use the map to avoid highways and take alternative roads to the mountains. Finally, after driving all day, you take a little dirt road. It looks like it leads to nowhere, which is exactly what you want. When you're starting to think this is all a waste of time, you take a turn, and there it is. We told you we'd get you there in 1 week. And better yet, you're not alone. Now you can take turns hunting, cooking, and standing guard. But this is far from over.
Good job. You've survived the first week of the apocalypse, but don't get too comfortable. From here on out, things only get worse. One wrong move could have you eaten alive. But hey, there's some good news. Every zombie you see is just a decaying, walking corpse. As time goes on, they'll just keep rotting. You, on the other hand, won't. But imagine if the enemies weren't just mindless, reanimated bodies. Imagine if they had some sort of superpower. Well, you don't have to imagine it, because that's exactly what you'll face in A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. This new single-player horror adventure game is out now on Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox XS. In A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, you're not up against zombies. No. You're being hunted by terrifying aliens with insanely good hearing. They use it to track and kill anything that makes even the slightest sound. To survive, you'll need to be as quiet as possible. These creatures are always listening. If you make too much noise, it's a game over. Here's the kicker. The game has a feature called microphone noise detection. It picks up sound from your actual mic. So if you scream in real life, you're done for in the game. Don't worry though, you can turn that feature off if things get too intense. I know I'll be turning it off because, let's be real, I'm a screamer. What really hooked me was how much care they put into crafting a unique story in the A Quiet Place universe. This takes place over 100 days after the creatures first invaded, and you'll play as a protagonist with relevant skills and flaws that will either help you survive or put you in even more danger. If you're ready to embark on a brand new dramatic adventure inspired by A Quiet Place, click the link in the description below. Stay quiet and see how long you can last. Do you think you could survive for a week? Let's head back to our own apocalypse and find out.
If a zombie outbreak happened in real life, how long could humanity survive? Some fictional estimates see us triumphing over the zombies quickly. Others see us holding up for decades. But now, we've got our first real scientific estimate on how things would go down, and spoiler alert, it's not good. According to research from Leicester University, in as little as 100 days, humans would be outnumbered by zombies 1 million to 1. The study also predicts that just 3 months after the start of the zombie outbreak, there would be less than 300 humans still standing. And in case that's not depressing enough, less than a year later, everyone would be dead. Or undead, to be specific. So, what can we do to change this grim outlook? Well, coming up with a strategy to ensure humanity's survival for more than 100 days might be a little daunting, so let's just start with getting you through the first 30 days, and then we'll go from there. The 3 most important things to do to survive the zombie apocalypse are secure shelter, gather supplies, and stay healthy. Unfortunately for you, every other human on Earth will be trying to do the same things, but you've got a couple of secret tricks up your sleeve. This plastic bag and this handful of crickets. Want to know how they come into play? Well, let's get to the plan. On day 1, news of a strange outbreak hits your TV screen. People are biting other people, exhibiting aggressive behavior, and just not dying.
Mummy's dead.
No, he isn't.
Get up! Rule number 1 in any crisis: don't panic. Use this day to gather your essentials: water, food, first aid supplies and tools, and yeah, some sort of weapon. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Groovy.
In the first week, chaos reigns. The infection spreads rapidly through densely populated areas. At this point, it's best to avoid major cities. They'll be the first to fall. If you're in a rural area, you're at an advantage. Set up defenses and secure your shelter. Lay low and avoid contact with others as much as possible. For a more in-depth look at the first 7 days, we'll check out our previous video, Could You Survive a Week in a Zombie Apocalypse? And subscribe to our channel for an ongoing education of survival tips. It's good for your brains. In the second week, supply chains start to collapse. Store shelves are emptying fast. Now's the time to ration your resources. 4 liters of water per person per day is the golden rule. Now, for food, stick to a high-calorie, low-consumption diet to conserve supplies. You remember those crickets I mentioned earlier? Yeah, well, here's where they come in handy. Crickets contain about as much protein as chicken, but require vastly fewer resources to farm. If you're feeling adventurous, insect farming could be a viable food source. By week 3, services like electricity and running water might be a thing of the past. Now, zombies are attracted to noise, so it's actually a silver lining. Get used to a quieter, simpler life. Also, hygiene is now a priority. Illness and infection can be as deadly as any zombie bite, so stay clean and keep your shelter tidy. The final week of the first month is all about long-term survival. Start considering sustainable sources of food and water. If you can, plant a garden. Now, you may have collected rainwater, but have you thought about condensation? Well, here's how you do that. Attach a clear plastic bag to a leafy tree branch. As the sun heats the air inside the bag, moisture will condense on the inner surface and then trickle down to the bottom. Hey, it's unconventional, but you've got yourself a water source. And never forget, stay vigilant. Zombies don't get tired. However, they're not exactly world-class sprinters, so keep your wits about you and you'll stay one step ahead. Congratulations! You've survived the first 30 days of the zombie apocalypse.
See? I told you that plastic bag was gonna come in handy. But be careful when using it, because those things can be noisy, and noise is a great way to bring hungry zombies to your doorstep. In a quiet place the road ahead, you'll be equipped with a phonometer, a tool that tells you if you're making too much sound. In the real world, you'll only know if you made too much sound when you turn around to see a zombie charging towards you. And by then, it will be too late. So instead, here are my 3 best tips for staying silent in a zombie apocalypse. 1. Avoid wearing noisy clothing. Yes, a leather jacket might be a slick look for the end of days, but it will squeak every time you move and attract the undead. So instead, go for soft fabrics like cotton or wool that are quieter, and avoid zippers at all costs. 2. Use natural sound barriers. If you need to break something or make noise, do it during natural noise events like thunderstorms or heavy rain, which can help cover your sounds. Moving near running water can also drown out any sounds you need to make. In a quiet place the road ahead, your phonometer will show you how much sound you're making in relation to the ambient noise around you, so you can choose your opportunities wisely. In real life, unfortunately, it's more of a guessing game. 3. Communicate with hand signals. Develop and practice a system of hand signals to communicate with your group. Talking, even whispering, can alert zombies. This one will be especially important as the apocalypse drags on for months and even years. However, a good communication system is worthless if you don't have anyone around to communicate with. How many people should you have in your group if you want to make it through the first year? Let's check out our final video to find out.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important news bulletin. We are receiving unconfirmed reports right now of random acts of violence and mass murder all over the city by what are described as bloody corpses in a trance-like state.
You probably think you could survive a zombie outbreak, don't you? Well, that's what everyone thought when it first started. They knew exactly who they wanted in their squad, which weapons they'd use to efficiently destroy the undead, and they even had the perfect home base scouted out. But it was so much more complicated than that. What people didn't think of was how each day would be one step closer to a complete collapse of the infrastructure we all rely on. Yeah, with no one maintaining them, water supplies would quickly become contaminated. In just a few months, GPS technology would fail. And oh yeah, what about all those nuclear power plants operating with no one at the helm? How long until they start melting down and releasing catastrophic radiation? Luckily for you, we've put together a guide to help you survive these unexpected dangers. Month 1. Get out. According to a model designed by scientists at Cornell University, densely populated cities would be the first places to be overtaken. And it would happen astonishingly quickly. You'll want to escape to somewhere rural, but just make sure you're not near any nuclear power plants. Without human oversight, reactors could start melting down in the first few days or weeks. A lot of reactors have safety systems built in, but it's only a matter of time before those fail too. Governments may mandate quarantines to halt the infection, so you'd need to hurry, but before leaving the city, collect as many non-perishable goods as possible. Canned food and bottled water will save your life. Also, bring along any camping equipment you have. Sleeping bags, portable solar panels, and thermal clothes will be essential. And it's weird, but even during civilization's collapse, your cell phone will be crucial for survival. I'll tell you why a little bit later, but for now, just keep it charged and save the battery as much as you can. Month 2. Establish a camp. After spending a few weeks in a mountain camp, it's tempting to seek a cozy cabin for shelter. However, it's safer to steer clear of places like this. They may be occupied by hostile survivors, or they may have already been breached by zombies. Your bottled water supply is likely diminishing, so it's crucial to find fresh water sources. Listen for lakes or rivers, but avoid setting up camp too close to them, as they'll attract potentially unfriendly survivors. And don't forget to sterilize water before drinking it. You can do that by placing it in a glass or plastic bottle and exposing it to sunlight for at least 6 hours. Month 3. Hunt. Well, it's finally happened. Your canned food supply is gone, and you need to learn how to hunt. You'll be going after smaller prey like rabbits, squirrels, and possibly wild pigs. You're better off using traps to avoid unnecessary risks and injuries. Always cook anything you catch. Without pharmacies and medicine, you don't want to get food poisoning and die. Month 4. Scavenge. According to modeling by scientists at Leicester University in England, humanity would be overtaken by zombies on the 100th day, so you may be dead by this point. However, this model didn't consider human adaptability and resilience. Nonetheless, consuming undercooked food in the wild could make you or your companions ill, so you'll need to start exploring villages in order to scavenge medicines. Okay, if your phone still has some battery life, it'll be useful even after societal collapse. Experts estimate that GPS technology would last at least 6 months before failing due to neglected maintenance. So turn on your phone, pull up a map of your area, and try to locate a village with a potentially stocked pharmacy or grocery store. Month 5. Move. Zombies and human survivors will almost certainly be moving at all times. Be vigilant for signs of groups getting close to your shelter. You may need to move to a more secure location. After the initial outbreak, fortified buildings like prisons may be the best place to set up camp. And be prepared to defend your new home from both zombies and hostile humans. Repair any damaged fences or walls and make an evacuation plan. This place won't be safe forever. Month 6. Grow. Once you find a defendable long-term location, well, you should start growing food. Stick to crops that don't require extensive growth periods, like corn and potatoes. They'll be ready to harvest in 2 or 3 months. Month 7. Strengthen up. Even when you secure your shelter and food supply, you'll still have needs you can't fulfill by yourself. Try to find other survivors you can trust and build an alliance. Exchanging food for tools and clothes would be a great idea. However, be cautious. In a situation like this, every stranger is a threat. Scientific estimations suggest that for any human community to thrive, it would need no fewer than 98 people. So, if you find other reliable groups of humans, invite them to join your community and increase your chances of survival. Month 8. Store. Okay, the weather will start changing soon, making it harder to hunt and grow food. You need to produce and store as much food as you can. You can preserve meat using salt, but use the leaner cuts for this, since the more fat meat has, the more likely it is to go rancid. Potatoes can last for months in a cool, dry place, so start saving them for the winter. Month 9. Mapping your territory. The world is now plagued with gangs, taking advantage of safe and thriving communities like yours. You need to be vigilant. The only way to know what's happening in your surroundings is to designate scouts to explore the terrain. Month 10. Fortify. The number of infected is increasing daily. By now, hordes of zombies are making their way to the mountains. Get prepared. Fortify your shelter with fences and traps to keep them away from your community. But you'll soon realize that zombies may not be your biggest problem. Month 11. Prepare to fight. Zombies aren't really capable of planning calculated attacks. The real danger will come from organized groups of desperate humans who won't hesitate to kill you and steal your food and supplies. After this many months, they're unlikely to have ammunition for guns, so be prepared to fight them the old-fashioned way. Be ready with knives, baseball bats, and metal rods. Month 12. Build a new civilization. Okay, you've been living this nightmare for almost a year now. Society, as you knew it, has vanished. It's time now to start building a new civilization. And new generations will need all the essential knowledge you have today. You need to write down all this knowledge and pass it on to future generations of survivors so that they can protect themselves in the event this happens again. Think about how you learned to escape these brain-eating hordes, the best ways to fight them, and the different ways to amass supplies. Now, if you need help remembering, watch our video about making it through the first week of this nightmare, here on How to Survive.